NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant. A Christmas photo released by the royal family features a bad Photoshop job where Prince Louis's finger appears to be missing. And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
Like, my life was so hard. Everybody's life is hard.
Yeah,
you were the prince of a goddamn country who dressed up as a fucking Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope? Suck it.
My brother's fiancée, Miss Meghan Markle, is on the American program Suits.
Yes, Wednesdays, 8 p.m, USA Network.
The only difference between that show and this is people watch this one.
Prince Harry announced he's getting married to American actress Meghan Markle. And this is super exciting for a lot of people. I mean, because they come from different worlds, you know? Her mom is black, his family's super white, she's an actress, he's on welfare. Like, it's so romantic.
Now for the tricky part. Place in microwave. What is microwave? I don't think we have any of that.
Are you fucking dumb?
It's a microwave, silly. Don't talk to me like that, you bitch! I'm a fucking duchess! Shake that off! Oh.
Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest selling non-fiction book of all time. The story of Prince Harold and his frozen yogurt slinger is so popular, they're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince and the Penis, and it's
If you had lunch with Meghan Markle, you'd be stunned at how dumb she was. Not because she's black, because I wouldn't think she was black if I looked at her, because she's an actress who was on the show Suits.
Meghan Markle is a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
In a twist nobody could have predicted, Meghan Markle has somehow earned a title no one lines up to accept in 2025, the most disliked woman in the room. And the irony is almost cinematic when you remember that before Prince Harry, she was barely a whisper in Hollywood, a supporting face on a legal drama most people have already forgotten, a name many struggled to spell, and yet in the span of just a few explosive years, she managed to unite comedians, talk show hosts, animators, puppets, and primetime satire against her, as if the entire entertainment industry collectively decided she was the safest target in the world.
So at the end of the year, 2025, Ranker.com put out a list of the most disliked celebrities. But let's just for the fun of it, let's just look at the top 5, okay? Leading up to Meghan.
What makes it almost unbelievable is that she didn't just become the punchline, she practically handed out the script, and the real shock wasn't the jokes themselves, but the people telling them, because these weren't anonymous trolls hiding behind avatars, these were A-list names, multi-million-dollar voices who guard their reputation carefully and only swing when they're certain the crowd will swing with them. And one by one they decided Meghan was worth it, which leads to the question echoing everywhere. What could she possibly have done that made even Hollywood's most cautious protectors step aside? We're walking through every roast, every takedown, every moment a celebrity stared into a camera and said what millions were already whispering, beginning with the man who kicked the door off its hinges because Chris Rock didn't simply tease Meghan, he unraveled her entire victim narrative in minutes, and he did it so cleanly that arguing with it felt almost impossible.
Gone on Oprah, I didn't know! I had no idea how racist they were! It's the royal family! You didn't Google this motherfucker?
After all, this is someone who married into the oldest and arguably most powerful royal institution on earth, then appeared sincerely stunned that such an institution might come with complications.
What the fuck is she talking about? She didn't know! The fuck? It's the royal family! They're the original racists!
Chris had no patience for that wide-eyed disbelief, comparing it to joining a cartel and acting shocked when crime shows up at the meeting, bluntly reminding everyone that you don't get to pretend ignorance about the system you willingly entered.
That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot. This motherfucker's invested in slavery like it was Shark Tank.
And then he stepped into the territory that made the room tense, revisiting the palace conversation about what the baby might look like. A moment Meghan framed as explosive racism, and Rock calmly undercut it by pointing out that even black families ask those same questions, reframing what had been presented as scandal into something far more ordinary and uncomfortable to debate.
They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby gonna be.
In his telling, a normal curiosity had been elevated into martyrdom, and that was the pivot point because once Chris Rock, a black comedian, said it plainly on stage, agreement could no longer be dismissed as prejudice, and suddenly the floodgates weren't just open, they were blown apart, with Joe Coy taking the momentum to the Golden Globe stage of all places, not a club, not a podcast, but one of Hollywood's most polished arenas. And with a single surgical sentence, he signaled that the gloves were officially off.
Just a great series about a rich, white, dysfunctional family, all scheming. Oh no, that's The Crown. That's The Crown.
He reduced Harry and Meghan's saga to little more than a glossy series about a rich, dysfunctional family where nothing particularly interesting happens, and the laughter that followed wasn't nervous, it was recognition, the kind that erupts when someone finally says it clearly.
How great was Imelda Staunton in The Crown? Wasn't she amazing? Her portrayal of the Queen was so good, Prince Harry called her for it and asked her for money.
Award show hosts are trained to keep things gentle, to smooth egos and keep the champagne flowing, but Joe Coy detonated that expectation, unapologetically dragging their Netflix deal into the spotlight.
Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
Because that deal became the quiet embarrassment hovering over everything. Tens of millions of dollars exchanged, and still, no one can clearly define what it produced or why it mattered, leaving the perception of two extraordinarily wealthy people monetizing grievance while offering little substance. And Joe said it in front of Hollywood royalty as the audience roared, a signal flare about where public opinion was drifting. Jimmy Kimmel followed with a sharper blade, pointing out the irony of fleeing alleged racism by choosing America as the refuge, letting the absurdity hang in the air before slicing into Harry's 600-page memoir about the hardship of princely life, a book that read too many like an extended lament from someone born into unimaginable privilege.
Harry said racism was a big part of their decision to leave, which you know things are bad at Buckingham Palace if they came to America to get away from racism.
Kimmel turned that memoir into a national punchline, framing it like a children's story about royal suffering, and what truly fueled the anger wasn't just complaint but the exposure. Intimate family details, a grandmother, a father, a brother, all packaged and sold. And he barely needed exaggeration because the facts themselves drew the laughter.
It's Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. The story of Prince Harold and his frozen yogurt slinger is so popular, they're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince and the Penis, and it's
Jimmy Fallon, meanwhile, zoomed in on something almost trivial yet oddly infuriating, a video about transferring pretzels from one bag to another, content delivered from a Montecito mansion to an audience juggling rent and reality, and the absurd simplicity of it, not cooking, not creating, just rearranging snacks, felt less humorous and more disconnected than anyone expected.
Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
There's another bag.
That confuses people.
This, we're just gonna put into a different...
That tiny moment crystallized the widening gap between curated lifestyle advice and everyday struggle, turning what should have been harmless fluff into a symbol of surreal privilege that left audiences blinking at their screen.
The 60 Minutes interview was a great chance to hear Harry and Meghan's story, in case you missed their 2-hour sit-down with Oprah or their 6-part Netflix documentary.
Then came the marathon of interviews, Oprah's 2-hour special, the sprawling Netflix documentary, the 60 Minutes sit-down, each framed as a plea for privacy and peace, yet delivered through another lens, another spotlight, until it no longer looked like truth-telling but like an anxious attempt to stay unforgettable, something Stephen Colbert barely had to push because Meghan's own words about calling each other H and M did the heavy lifting.
Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
Announcing that nickname with total sincerity gave Colbert nothing more to do than glance at the camera as the audience connected the branding irony themselves, because couples claiming to crave normalcy don't usually unveil logo-ready initials on television, and others echoed the growing sentiment that neither America nor Britain seemed eager to claim them, painting a picture of two people suspended between worlds with titles intact but belonging uncertain.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
No! No! I refuse! I'm sick!
From there, the critiques only sharpen. Observations that Harry once had a defined, if imperfect, place in history and traded it for a new identity critics saw as hollow. SNL sketches reducing their marriage to caricature. Trevor Noah shifting from defender to skeptic after witnessing a Prince networking for voiceover work at a Disney premiere. Bill Maher diagnosing the impossible dance between privilege and victimhood. Nikki Glaser framing the romance as strategy rather than fairy tale. British comics expressing anger over taxpayer funding and past scandals. Kelly Osbourne dismissing curated suffering. Simon dissecting the Netflix narrative. Conan joking about wax figures and jam jars. John Oliver concluding they simply cannot change. And even interviews and satirical shows like South Park and Spitting Image amplifying the perception of hypocrisy, all culminating in a relentless cultural verdict that transformed royalty into recurring punchline. So after every monologue, every sketch, every viral clip that mirrored what millions were already thinking, the only question left hanging is whether this avalanche of ridicule was earned or excessive. And that's where you come in, because I want your honest take in the comments, and if you're drawn to stories where celebrity, power, and public opinion collide like this, you already know what to do next.